So, Oren, one of our Bedrock founding principles is that falling is an advanced skill.
Yes.
All right. And so I want to share with everybody that Oren and I fall like every day, right? And we always try and think it's a new opportunity each day, but the truth is we do. We make mistakes, we make the wrong decision, and we don't win every deal. And I want to share a deal that we pitched on in the last couple of weeks with an existing client who's done great work with us on perfecting their pitch and video story. But there was an expanded opportunity, and to cut a long story short, the decision was that we did not have a specific industry vertical experience, that one of the partners preferred to go with a industry specialist. And that's it, and we get it, and we respect that, and we will continue to support these guys, and we'll hopefully have future communication, video storytelling to do. But I share this in that it got me thinking when I hung up the phone. I was like, like that didn't feel good. I'm competitive, and I'm passionate, and I know that we can do a great job, and I love this particular business model. But the reality is it's the same thing when you're raising money, that it's tough to find the source of capital and funding, and it doesn't feel good when you don't have an investor choose you. But I think what we've learned from our own efforts, but also from watching many of our entrepreneurs we work with, is that locking in the win, let's talk about money today, is only half the struggle, because if that money is not aligned with helping you grow within your, with where you need to take your business, and doesn't connect you with the right resources or people within your space who are going to help you kind of move your business forward, it may not be the right money to be taking. And so I guess what I'm saying is sometimes falling, or in our case, not winning an account, maybe was good for us because it frees up our time to focus in spaces that really are part of our core wheelhouse. Or maybe it was right for that client of ours where they've got resources with industry experience, or not, right? But just coming back to when we're looking for money or when we're looking for partners, thinking through what does that partnership lead you to next. So falling is an advanced skill, and money is not just money, it's where does it lead us to. Somehow in my mind, it's all the same thing, but help me dissect my own thinking.
Yeah, there's a lot packed in there, so I'll unpack a few pieces. And just on the falling is an advanced skill, so we talk about this a lot, and I just want to help people understand that, like, truly this is how we were built. We were built as beings that needed to fall, and it's from falling that we learn, and then we learn to walk. So if you look at babies, and I've got a baby that was in our house recently and started to learn to walk. And it's amazing. They don't even think about it because they stand up and they fall, they stand up and they fall, and they keep trying. It doesn't even enter their mind that they should question that, have I failed here? Because it's part of the learning process.
Right.
And that's really, when you look at kids up until the age of about 6, maybe a little bit younger than that, they just accept failure as part of life. They accept failure as part of the learning process. And that's when we start to become aware of other people and what they might think of us, that we start to think that this is a bad thing. But really, it's in our DNA to learn. So failing and falling is absolutely an advanced skill, and we should embrace it. And so back to your points around pitching and the work that we didn't get. So we got to, and this is what we do, is reflect on, okay, one, was it the right opportunity? But what could I have done to be able to win this? Because we could have done something differently.
Right.
I always say, like,
Yeah.
never know what the other outcome is, but sort of reflect on, okay, what can I learn from this experience? Anyway, so that's just a little bit of an aside. Back to the point on the capital raise, I think that's a very, very valid point. There's a lot of companies out there that are looking to raise money. I mean, we're working a lot with startup companies in Series A and seed rounds, and so they're pitching a lot to get the money. And I think the mistake that gets made is if they're just going after the money. Because if you're just going after the money, then it really becomes like a transaction. What you should be looking for is looking for people that are aligned in terms of values, and that they're aligned with where you want to take your business, and the passion of what you're breathing into your business, and looking for a connection at that level, because that just makes the relationship that much easier, and the money flows more easily. There's too many people out there that are looking for a win, they want to put their capital in, and then they're just not going to support you on the board. So they've taken equity in your company, they're not going to help you advance the story, and it becomes a burden. And at some point, there's going to be misalignment, because if you're truly passionate about what you want to do with your business, but they're passionate about getting their return on their investment, let's say you're growing at a great pace, and they're hitting their 5-year threshold that they want to get their return, they're going to put pressure on you to sell, but you want to keep the business. So it's those sorts of things that really can, like money, raising money is not just about the money. It's really about finding the right money from the right people. And that sort of comes into that point around passion, because I think people should reflect as to why you're in it, back to why you started the business and what is your passion. Because if you come from raising money from that place, from showing your passion, being authentic about who you are, not trying to project a veneer of we're this perfect company, we have it all together, we're going to build a $100 million company in 3 years and this is what we're going to do, but just share more vulnerably that we don't have all the answers. We want to make a big difference out there. We know based on the team that we've assembled that everybody's aligned with and passionate to solve this problem. I think that resonates much more with the type of investors that will invest from a place of like value alignment.
Right.
Anyway, so I don't know if that answers your question.
It does, you know, and as you're talking, it's almost in a good way shocking to me that as much as we transact every day and the great people that we meet, it's still all about digging in, you know, which is our initial bedrock principle, which is why are we doing what we're doing, and understanding 5 layers deep. And it comes to, it's obviously a macro vision with how we spend our time, but it's also, why am I dealing with this investor? Why am I, you know, why is this particular account so important to the strategy of the business? Whatever the question is, because to your point on alignment, if why I need you on my deal is not why you need me on the deal, if there's not an alignment there, we're probably going to have some issues, if not now, down the line. And at least if I recognize that, it doesn't mean I won't take the cash on the raise or won't do the deal or won't pursue the lost deal, but I'll go with a different lens of just playing with my eyes open, right? And potentially maximize the opportunity for all parties versus having, and we've seen some nasty situations of disappointment, poor communication, and ultimately unhappy endings. And so I think that's, as we're chatting through, don't be afraid of failing or falling. We are like babies. We were babies.
Yeah.
We're trained to fall down and stand up. At the same time, when something doesn't map up and we do fall, it could either be a blessing in disguise, right? But stop and self-reflect. Let's check ourselves. What could we have done better? What did we learn? And the other piece is, as we carry on trying to find new deals and new partners, let's make sure that we've figured out what it is we are looking for and why, and does that potential partner understand what they're looking for and why, and let's drive forward.
Yeah, actually, I'll just add one piece to that last bit. It's and be authentic, because once you understand who you are and what you want, just share it. Because if you're projecting something that you're not being fair to the other party, because they don't know who you are. Like you're not showing them your values so that they can see if there's a connection there. Right. Because if you're projecting a different value system to really what you're believing internally, like you're getting into the relationship on the wrong foot.
Totally.
And it's your fault because you're not showing your true colors and being authentic.
Right.
So I think that's a really important piece as well.
Be confident just to be who you are.
Yes.